Okay. 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 All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, just going. Yeah. Jeff Gordon may be the guy to watch. Wouldn't it be nice? Mm-hmm. Two Chevrolets in the top five, in the top four, with the fastest two cars the last lap.
Back to ABC Sports live coverage of the Cracker Barrel Old Country Store 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Well, we had a big announcement here on Friday as Ray Evernham and Bill Elliott announced that they would be teaming up for the year 2001. Elliott currently drives the 94, but next year it will be a Dodge and number 9 that Bill Elliott drove for many, many years. On board with Elliott right now, who is running in the 7th position. Bill has won 5 times here at Atlanta Motor Speedway and definitely a hometown favorite. And Ray, the question is, why Bill Elliott?
Well, we're building a new team with a new car, and Bill Elliott is the type of guy who can help me build that new team and help us develop that Dodge. We can rely on his experience, and obviously he's already got a race team, which we are going to take over and hopefully just add to.
That's the genius of the whole deal. I mean, you're just previewing 2001 with Elliott's team this year, aren't you, Ray?
Yeah, and he's making me nervous running up there high like he is, Benny, but he's got a good group of people over there, and we're really hoping that we can just keep growing.
Darrell Waltrip has made an early pit stop, John Kernan.
Darrell had been complaining since the drop of the green flag. The car was all over the place, so after he got lapped, in less than 20 laps, they decided to come in, make a track bar adjustment, add a little wedge to the car to try and tighten it up to make it a little more comfortable for DW to drive, because he had quite a handful out there on the racetrack.
He goes 2 laps down now to the leader, who is currently Dale Earnhardt Jr. He took the advantage from Kevin LePage a few laps ago and now finds himself just a little more than a second ahead of LePage. Jerry Nadeau running 3rd. Jeff Gordon has moved to 4th, and Elliott is now 5th.
As a matter of fact, Nadeau has gone by the 16 car of Kevin LePage to take over the 2nd spot. We have a couple of Chevrolets right now in those first 2 spots.
Down to Bill Weber.
Well, first of all, an update on our pole sitter, Dale Jarrett, who led briefly early in the start of this race. He's told Todd Parrott the car basically is all over the place. A lot of these guys are waiting to see what these tires are going to do on longer runs. So far, Jarrett has his hands full. Similar story for Matt Kenseth, who went forward, now has dropped back. Last check was running 10th. He has told his crew chief, Robbie Reiser, his car is very, very loose. A lot of different things going on for these various cars on the racetrack. Let's check in with Jerry.
And a similar situation with this Pennzoil Chevrolet of Steve Park after that great qualifying run in the same car where he led 72 laps here last November. The car now very loose from the get-go and getting looser. The car will not grip the racetrack. He says the tires feel like rocks. They feel very, very hard. He cannot get the car to grip the track. The car loose. He's having to back out, and that means he's losing position.
On the racetrack, an impressive performance early here by the driver of the number 91 car, the Joe Falcone car. That is Todd Bodine. And he registered his career best finish in NASCAR Winston Cup racing in November of 1994. Always seems to run well at this track. He started 24th and has steadily moved up to his current position of 11th.
I would imagine Joe and Shirley Falk have to be just thrilled to death with the performance of Todd Bodine. How about the leaders? Nadu goes in front.
So already we have seen
spot we like right there. Let's just stay there for the rest of the day.
This will be the first lap that Jerry Nadeau has led since Watkins Glen last year.
Tony Eury Sr. watches his driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. go by.
Jerry has an update from pit road.
And guys, a moment ago, Dale Earnhardt Jr. radioed his crew chief, Tony Sr., who you just saw, and said, guys, I got a stagger loose, not an arrow loose. I got a stagger loose situation. Ray Evernham, it's important for a driver to tell the crew chief which that is.
Absolutely, Jerry. That way the crew chief can work on the proper things. There are several adjustments you can make to fix either a loose car or a tight car, but when the driver can identify where it's coming from, it makes that decision a lot easier. Right there, you see Dale Jr. bobble a little bit up off that white line. That shows a loose indication right there. He's working the steering wheel.
Last time by, he was about a mile and a half an hour slower than Jerry Nadeau.
Darrell Waltrip that the leader just went by, and now is about to be lapped by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Here is the 5th position battle. On the left is Bill Elliott and Mike Skinner right behind him. These guys running about 3 3/4 seconds behind the leader.
And we can see their spotter had warned them that Darrell Waltrip with the 66 car was on the bottom of the racetrack. So when Elliott went in turn 3, just immediately moved up to the racetrack to make that pass a little bit easier.
In the upper left, the drivers that have increased their caution. Looks like Dale Earnhardt Jr. has some damage to the front end of his car.
Looks like the right front fender's torn up on this car. I would guess contact with the outside retaining wall.
He drops to the apron of the racetrack and brings out our first caution of the race on lap number 29, and we understand he caught the wall.
That's too bad.
Was in second spot. Now here he comes down pit road.
Looks like the tires are up on that car. What happens when the car is loose? Sometimes you have to turn to the right, and when you turn to the right, you end up going against the fence. And the way he went through the pits there, I would say that's true.
What happens when these cars go up and slap the wall? That right front tire breaks the brake rotor that's attached up next to that rim, so that's why he doesn't have any brakes. And just listen as he goes in the corner.
It looked like he got loose, man. He had to save that thing.
See, as he jumped back on the throttle coming off the corner, as Ray said, that car got a little bit loose, and to save it, you got to go up the hill, chase it up the hill, and unfortunately, up the hill was the wall.
Down to Jerry Punch.
As Earnhardt Jr. came down pit road, he pumped the brakes, which most drivers are told to do to be able to make sure they have brakes. And he said, no brakes, no brakes, no brakes. Tony Eury said, put it in first gear and try to get it slowed down as much as you can. They couldn't get it slowed up, so he had him go right on through. So they will try to come back around and probably pull him behind the wall and work on the car.